Let's get it. They want to have a conversation. I am here for it. Let's get it. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really and thoroughly appreciate y'all for giving me y'all time, man. Nobody owes me anything. The world doesn't owe me anything. So for y'all to tap in and like y'all tap in, I really appreciate y'all, man. I'm telling you. Let's make sure everything is what it is. I always do this check, y'all. I never want to be cocky. Let's make sure everything. Yeah, we live. So it's been close to a week since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and I did post some. It was kind of like not like mean, but it was like very insensitive. I posted a couple insensitive posts. I wasn't trying to make fun of his death. I don't think that that's funny. So let's make that clear. I do not think that anyone being killed publicly like that or anyone being assassinated in front of their loved ones and for all of America to see is anything that's a joke or a laughing matter. So, with that being said, it is rather ironic the way that he was assassinated. And what makes this even more ironic situation is the fact that as soon as this situation happened, the blame was immediately on somebody that was not white, not Republican, not, all of these things. They started to say that it was a trans person or whatever. Like, then they started to, oh, we're going to riot at these HBCUs or we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And I want to make something very clear. At no point did Black America think we had anything to do with this situation. At no point. Because that is not our neck of the woods, and we would stick out like a sore thumb anywhere near that rally. So at no point did me or anyone that I knew of that I spoke with, none of us thought that we or anyone that looked like us had anything to do with this situation. So let's make that clear. If you look at the early news clips and different things that went on in the first 24 hours of this situation, the blame was immediately placed on Democrats or leftists or whatever. Like, it was immediately placed on somebody other than who it really was. And this is what I want to address in my live today. This is where I see the problem with America, religious institutions and politics and different things like that. This is where my view actually differs from what people would some people would think that I would be, oh, that's what you get. I don't feel like that. I don't feel like, oh, that's what you get, because if that was the case, I wouldn't be here on this platform speaking my voice. And my platform is not a tenth as big as this guy's platform was, but everyone should feel free to be able to speak their mind. I am an advocate of free speech. I fully believe in freedom of speech. So for this man to go live, go on his own platform and say whatever he wanted to say about whatever he wanted to talk about, it's completely fine with me. A lot of people are jumping the gun. So you watch these clips of Charlie Kirk and you say, oh, he's a racist or he's a bigot or he's this or he's that, and that's okay. But most of us only consume information in these small chunks and bites. So when you consume information in small chunks and bites, you are liable to believe whatever the person who makes these clips wants you to believe. So if you see certain clips on black outlets, they're going to say, oh, this man was a racist or this man hated blacks or whatever. That's okay. That's what they want you to believe. And you could clip anything and get whatever you want from it if that is something that you're trying to extract from the information. So I'm not taking up for Charlie Kirk. What I am taking up for is the freedom of speech. That man had a right to say whatever the hell he wanted to say on his platform or any other platform that allowed him to come on there and say whatever he wanted to say. So for people to say, other people are wrong for them laughing or doing whatever they want to do, then they are wrong too, because they have the freedom of speech and they are able to say whatever they want to say about whatever subject they want to say it about on their platform. You cannot have one without the other. That lies the problem. For me to feel like people should be able to say whatever they want to say about this man's passing, however he passed, however insensitive these comments or videos or repostings are, that is their ability, their freedom of speech. Who am I to take something away from them? Who am I to say that they cannot say whatever they feel like they want to say about his death, how he died, who did it, whatever they wanted to say, right? You can say whatever you want to say. You have the freedom of speech. That is the beautiful thing about America. You can go on something like this. All I have to do is come on here, click a couple buttons, and I am live on your Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you watch me at, TikTok if you catch the clips, whatever. That is the beauty of America, is that you have the freedom of speech. Charlie Kirk also had freedom of speech. Now, if you want to have an opinion about whatever he said, you have the right to do that also. It is your right to formulate your opinion just as well it is your right to voice your opinion publicly on your platforms, as long as Facebook, Instagram, or any of those social media sites don't block your account or they don't restrict the way that you put off this information, whatever. You still have the right to put it out there. You still have the right to say whatever you want to say. If they block your account or do whatever based on what you say, they have the right to control what's on their platform. If Charlie Kirk wanted to go on a platform and say whatever was on his mind, he is in a country where he can do that. There are other communist countries and different things where you cannot voice your opinion about government issues or anything outside of what they allow you to voice your opinion about. But America is not that country. That man had the right to say whatever he chose to say about whatever he chose to talk about. So if the man wanted to address DEI or whatever else, he had the right to do that. He had the right to feel like he felt about it. He had the right to voice his opinion. He had the right to say whatever he wanted to say on his platform because it's his platform. Now, when you try to mute people for how they respond to that, that is a problem too, because one right deserves another one. So for people to say, oh, you guys are insensitive, you're not thinking about his family, I don't have to think about his family if I am voicing my opinion the same way he didn't think about how his opinion about DEI or anything else would affect how people would pay and take care of their families. He didn't care about that. He voiced his opinion without regard to how it would affect how people looked at black people, transgenders, or anything else. So if people have an opinion about how he died, why he died, the manner in which he died, or the publicity behind how he passed, they have the right to do that because they are in the same country that this man was in when he voiced his opinion about whatever he wanted to voice his opinion about. This is where people get caught up and we have a problem. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. He said whatever he wanted to say on his platform. He said whatever he wanted to say about being transphobic or whatever his problems were, his issues with homos or whatever. That is his business. He has a right to do that. But people also have a right to say what they want to say about his opinion, about his death, or about anything else, because we live in the same country. Now, when the situation happened, the Republicans and right wings, whatever they want to call it, bro, I don't want to get into all of these labels because people are going to start picking through, oh, where they're not this or they're not that, whatever. That's not the important thing. The important thing is that we have a right to say what we want to say. And that goes for Charlie Kirk, President Trump, or anybody else who wants to say whatever they want to say. They can say how they feel about black people, how they feel about trans people, or whatever, gays, whatever. Well, that's their business. That's their business. That is nothing wrong with that. I seen an interview with a young lady from Detroit. If you're not familiar with me, I'm from Detroit. And this young lady, they didn't want her to get in their car. They driving Uber and they were like, you were too big. The car was too small, whatever the situation was. She went on a Breakfast Club and told them that they couldn't say the F word. She said that saying fat was insensitive. She felt like them calling her fat was insensitive. And then there was an interview and it was something about minor attracted people. No, you're a pedophile. It's not, I can call you a pedophile if you're a pedophile. I can call you a pedophile. Saying pedophile is not like saying faggot or nigger. That's what it's called. It's pedophilia. You're a pedophile. So who are you to say that I can't call you a pedophile if that's what the term is? You can soften the blow and say, oh, minor attracted people. No, you're a pedophile. It literally is what it is. People can call you overweight if they want to be a little more politically correct, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're fat. That's what it's called. You could be obese, fat, whatever. That's what it's called. It's not me being insensitive to call you fat if you're fat. I posted a clip maybe 2 months ago. Like I was in the gym and it was like something. And I had gained some weight. I maybe gained like 12 pounds in like 2 months. And one of my guys ended up like responding to this reel. And when my guy responded to this reel, he was like, dog, you getting fat. You looking fat over there. I didn't get mad and say, you can't call me the F word. I said, you know what? It's time to get it back together. Let's get back in the gym. Let's tighten this diet up. Let's get back on my stuff. Right? So for somebody to have an opinion about me being black or me being a felon or me being anything, I don't care. You have a right to your opinion like I have a right to mine. I don't care that you have an opinion about me being black, or you have an opinion about me being a 10-time felon, or you have an opinion about me being having 2 kids, mothers, whatever. Whatever your opinion is about me is fine. You can say whatever you want to say. I know who I am. I know what I am. I know what my goals are. I know what I'm striving to be, and I know that I'm not perfect. I'm fine with that. But for you to have your opinion is cool. It's gotta be cool for me to have my opinion because we live in the same country and what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Now, let's get back to Charlie Kirk. So a lot of people have, oh, he's racist. You know what I'm saying? That is a scapegoat. Stop calling everybody racist. Stop calling everybody racist. He has an opinion about black people that is an opinion that he feels is a educated opinion, but that opinion, it's only an opinion based on his experiences with black people, and it doesn't sound like he had too many experiences with black people. So we have to address another situation where the internet is a lot of people's first contact with people outside of their race, and if you look at the first contact people have with black people, a lot of times it's twerking, fighting, and a lot of BS that the internet pushes, right? So sometimes people get these overstated opinions. They feel like these opinions are facts. And this man was self-educated, and he felt like he had the right to say whatever he wanted to say because he read a little bit, and he seemed to be of above average intelligence. I'm not taking anything away from him. I definitely know some dummies, and this wasn't a dummy. He leaned heavily on his education, and he did not give enough credence to his lack of experience with people outside of his comfort zone or his immediate circle. So when you go through life the way that I went through life, you start to pick up things and you start to understand things a little differently. So the way that I went through life is I was born to a drug addicted father, an alcoholic mother. I went through the projects and then foster homes, boys homes, state prison, federal prison. My experiences are so unique that I have a different understanding of people. I am not homophobic because I was incarcerated with people where you wouldn't even know they was swinging that way until you knew they were swinging that way. So I'm not homophobic. I don't care what you do with your body and who you decide to give your body to or who you are attracted to. That's your business. If you want to marry them, I'm all for that. Go marry them, handle your business. Now, do I have to teach that to my children? Hell no. So I teach my kids that there is a difference between males and females, and males are attracted to females, females are attracted to males, and I give them the foundation of understanding the differences. Boys play with action figures, girls play with dolls. You understand what I'm saying? I'm never going to teach my kids that it's okay to go play. Like, my mom didn't allow me and if my mom caught me or my brother playing with a doll, we about got our head slapped off. That's the way I grew up. So the kids have a right to know and understand the differences. Why not? That is the way that that's the way the world was built, y'all. That's the natural order of things, is for us to understand that men are attracted to women. Women should be attracted to men. We have children. We were placed here to do that. And you can't do that any other way. So it's unnatural. So for somebody to say that they have a problem with that, why do we have to shut them up? Or why do we feel like they shouldn't say that? It's okay. The same way it's okay for you to go do whatever you want to do with your body, it's okay for them to do whatever they want to do with their mouth. It is fine for anyone to have an opinion about somebody's sexual preference or somebody's race, whatever. That's okay. That's okay. The same way it's okay if people want to post videos and laugh at the way that you passed, or they want to make these dolls or memes, whatever. It's okay. That's a part of the American culture, is freedom of speech. Now, I'm not saying that I'm for that or I'm promoting that, but what I'm saying is it's okay. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot say that you supported that man in freedom of speech and then say you're wrong for saying no. It goes both ways. It's the same thing with religion. If somebody wants to say Christ is this and then somebody else wants to say Muhammad, it's okay. Whatever your religion is, whatever your beliefs are, it's fine. That's the beauty of being in a free country. It is fine. As long as you're not violating someone's legal rights or ethical rights, then it is fine for that man to get on his platform and say whatever he wanted to say. It is nothing wrong with that. The same way that these people have a voice on social media and they want to make memes and crack jokes about whatever happened, that is fine. That is fine. Some people are going to be upset. Some people are going to like it, share it, support it. It's fine. We have the freedom of speech. Now, I'm not going to take up for the fact of Charlie Kirk being racist, which I don't think that he was racist. What happens is people know that they're stirring the pot. And if you watch some of these people, they actually enjoy stirring the pot. They get so much attention stirring the pot that they feel like the more that they are extreme, the more polar they could be. They could be polarizing based on the outlandishness of their opinions. And sometimes somebody amping you up and you getting millions and millions of followers and views and different things like that, you can take things to the extreme. So although I feel like he believed what he believed, some of this stuff was hyperbole and just made to excite the internet and ignite the fan base that he wanted to ignite. And this is what people have to understand. Every conversation is not for the internet. Every post is not to be made publicly. Everything you think is not to be posted. What you got to realize, though, is that when you do that, let's say you made a post and said, oh, I'm tired of y'all losers on my basketball team. Then you went to basketball practice and got jumped. For every action, there's a reaction. You can say whatever you want to say on your platform because it's your platform. You can do whatever you want to do with your social media, with your voice, with your writing, whatever. You can be whoever you want to be. We live in that type of country, but we also live in a type of country where you can walk outside and something violent can happen to you. It works both ways. Now, with some of the things that Charlie Kirk said that ignited his followers and fan base and made certain people feel like he was racist or whatever, you have to take some of this stuff with a grain of salt. And then some of this stuff, you have to understand that it comes from a lack of experience with people outside of his immediate circle. So when you talk about black people this, black people that, all of this different stuff, a lot of people are going to be gonna feel like you taking shots at him or whatever. So when he talked about DEI, and he even said that Oprah and Michelle Obama and people like that didn't have a mind and thinking all that, like it could be racial, whatever. But in his mind, he may not have been with. He may not have had the experience of dealing with black women that are actually worth having a conversation with, because you have to realize this man probably has not really spoken to that many black women. This man may not have really had a relationship with enough people of color to really have an opinion about anybody being worth him having an opinion about. This man is just saying anything that came to his head, or anything that he read about. And what happens when you start to get an education is, I have tons of books here. I have a bunch of books at my office, and my books are consistent with the way that I think. I don't have any nigga books, which is urban novels or any of that, because I don't think those novels are worth reading. So I'm going to read things that are consistent with my system of beliefs. And those are probably the same principles that Charlie Kirk had, as far as him educating himself and him learning about people outside of himself. He probably read, watched, listened to people that agree with the way that he felt about things, so he never really heard another side of the story. If you have a belief and you feel like, the only rich people are people who were born with it or whatever, you'll read stuff that give you more of the same. You will not go outside of that to read something or to listen to something or to watch something that will give you anything outside of what you already believe. So he may not have wanted to, I'm sorry, let me speak in past tense. He may not have wanted to even have relationships with black women or black men to the point of where he would have a differentiated opinion besides what he already believed, because now he have all of these people that are following him, all of these friends that are around him, all of these situations that have led to him saying, okay, you're at a 5, now let's take it to a 10. If you understand what I mean, if you already knee deep, you got some people like go on into the neck. You might as well go on into the neck. Imagine him having met Oprah and respected her intelligence and her ability to go from where she was to where she is. And for him to come back and say, look, y'all, I actually met a black woman that made me change my mindset. You have people that are, man, what are you talking about? Because you're igniting a fire. You can't come and turn and put the fire out. You got to keep the fire burning. You got to turn this fire up. This is what people have to understand. It's so many moving parts to being a person, bro. You're a person. Just think about how much goes into your car. You have all kinds of pieces in your car, motors, engine, whatever. Like, you got so much stuff. The transmission, the brakes, the this. It's so much stuff. You have a whole system that's going to say, check your engine, water load, this load, that, bam, 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 in your car. As a human, we go see doctors, or we may, feel symptoms of something, but we don't really know. You have all of these things in your life that have led up to this moment. Some people may click on here and then click off when they realize I'm not on here dogging the dude, because I don't feel like that. Some of the things that Charlie Kirk talked about, I actually agree with. Some of the things that I disagree with, I am already saying, look, you have a lack of experience, or you're not giving credits to another person's experience in life. Because if I was to talk to someone who has experienced a crazy amount of racism, who am I to tell them that racism doesn't exist? You're on the outside looking in. Who are you to say that racism doesn't exist? To somebody who has dealt with racism at all different levels of their life. You have people that are very successful that had to deal with racism and may still deal with racism. They may not be able to get to where they truly should be because of a glass ceiling. They may not be able to get the education that they want because they have bad credit, because maybe they were never taught how to keep their credit good, right? They were never taught how to build credit because the parent that raised them didn't know. You have certain black people who are financially sound. They are financially sound right now. They had to learn the hard way. Maybe they, jacked their credit off and then said, dang, I need to fix this. And they start learning about credit and building credit and repairing their credit. And now they have good credit. But you can't say that their experience with credit or the lack of experience with credit makes them any less of a person. It's just the way that it's just the way the cards were dealt sometimes. So you have some very talented people, right? You might have a person that's Michael Jordan talented, but he didn't have Michael Jordan's brother or father to guide him and keep him out of trouble. So that man may be in prison somewhere dunking on everybody because of his circumstances. Now you can, in hindsight, you can say, well, you had a choice. No, you do have a choice. But when you grow up a certain way, you don't understand those choices. You feel like those choices are limited. So if you are on the outside looking in, you can have all the opinion you want to about the choices that they made, but you were never in a position to understand that some of these choices were actually made for you. Or the deck was actually set, so even though it looked like a fair shuffle, it was not a fair shuffle. And this is something that Charlie Kirk could never understand. It doesn't matter if you are white and born to a lower class family, you still have a better starting point than a black person that's born to a lower class family because of the color of their skin. It is what it is. Systemic racism is real. People don't understand what systemic means. It means a system. It means racism that is systematized. It is. People say, well, you did a crime, you go to jail. No, there are a lot of white people who do the same crimes. Look at the numbers. There are a lot of white people who were caught with crack and went to rehab, where a black person went to prison for 5 years. Do the numbers. Even though it is a system, criminal justice system, black people are not looked at in the same light. So now you just took this person away from their family for 5 years, and some little boy is growing up without his father, and now this person that got 5 years for an addiction is coming home and feeling like the world owes them something, or they're angry. And what are they going to teach their son or daughter about life? So yes, you can say, well, you have the same options. Yes, well, America, yes, you can say that, Mr. Kirk. You can say that because you haven't had to deal with it on the other side. Now, am I calling this man a racist? No, I'm not saying he's a racist. People deal with life based on their own experiences. And my experiences, I don't feel like all white people are racist. I feel like it's an overused word. So something was brought up to me the other day, and I was locked up in maybe 2007, I believe, and one of my guys wanted to go to the Nation of Islam service, and I said, bro, I'll go to the service with you. I go to the Nation of Islam service, and it was probably only about 10 people there. 5 of the people there were exes, which means they had already, claimed to be nation, and then some of the other people were guests like me, and they were looking to be ex. I never was looking to be an ex, but I went with my guy as a guest, and it was a decent sermon. Basically, they started to say that white people were the devil and blah blah blah, and this kind of like threw me a little bit because I don't feel like that. But I don't mind whatever you feel like. I just felt like it shouldn't have been in a religious meeting, right? But at this meeting, they were saying that, you know, if a white person did something to me, I'm supposed to hold them accountable, or I'm supposed to feel a certain way. But if a black person did it to me, I'm supposed to understand their struggle, forgive them. And it was like this long drawn out thing that they try to say to me. And my thing is, everybody is accountable for their actions, no matter what color you are. So, and I told them that. I said, listen, that's not how I feel. How I feel is, black or white, if you put your hands on me, I'm gonna put my hands back on you. Black or white, if you do something violent to me, I owe you something. That's how I feel. The same way, if you do something nice to me, then I feel like, thank you. I'm grateful for whatever that is, black or white. Nobody gets a pass. Black or white, you are held accountable for your actions, for your words, and everything else. So, this particular meeting went on, and I explained to them, listen, at the time I had a ex-girlfriend whose family was still in touch with me, and they always checked on me, always made sure I was okay. They sent me books, money, whatever I needed. I could never have a negative opinion about white people. I can't say all white people is this or all white people are that. I cannot say that. I cannot say that with a clear conscience, because I don't believe that. I have met some great white people in my life, and I have met some slime balls who deserve the fist stuffed down their throat. But I have met some terrible black people in my life also. And I have met some great brothers and sisters. Maybe people need to go and deal with other people a little more. You got some of these small towns where it's 95% whatever, black or white, and you get this opinion of people, and it's stuck in your head, and you don't want to let it go. Everything that you do is to keep putting oil on that fire. You want to keep. Listen, I hate black people, and you just gonna keep putting oil on the fire, and that's okay, right? You have a right to do that, but you also have a right to get your ass kicked if you say the wrong thing to the wrong black person. You have a right to do that, or if you put your hands on them. I seen a video of a lady who, I guess her husband was the police or something, and she was dogging these people. They were on their porch. They was laughing at her. Now, I probably wouldn't have did that, but they was laughing at her with the phone. She jumped over there and hit one of them. He knocked her ass out. You have a right to defend yourself. This is all I'm saying. We have certain rights. They got gun rights. They got whatever. It's okay. We all have rights. So when I see people and go on the internet and they try to, well, you guys are wrong, you shouldn't say such and such about something. Man, people have the right to say whatever the hell they want to say on their internet. This is their platform. They can post, comment, reply, whatever they want to do, because the social media platform gave them the right to do that. When they feel like it is something outside of their guidelines, they will restrict it, they will delete it, they will block them from whatever. It's all good. It's not your job to be the social media police. It's not your job. Charlie Kirk has his right. What's up, brother? Charlie Kirk had a right to say what he wanted to say, and he did. He said what he wanted to say. He said what he wanted to say. When you do that, you are going to have a group of people over here that's like, yes, and that's what he wanted. Then you have a group of people over here that's, oh my God, I can't believe he said that about us. Man, toughen up. People, listen, man, people gonna hate your guts. It don't matter what color you are. People gonna hate your guts. It don't matter what sex you are. People gonna hate your gut. It doesn't matter about your sexual preference. You gotta toughen up, because if you wanna be a man that wanna dress up in a dress, put a wig on, makeup, whatever you wanna do, then people have a right to say whatever the hell they wanna say about it. It's your right to do what you wanna do, the same way it's their right to say whatever they wanna say about it. That is what the freedom of speech is all about. That's what it's all about. I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with whatever people post. I don't care. If I like it, I'll like it. I'll love it. Whatever. I'll comment. I'll reply. I'll share. Whatever. If I don't, I can still do the same. I can comment, start the argument, whatever. That's what you have a right to do. What you got to realize is that certain people with platforms, they know what they're doing. So even if the man wasn't a racist, I'm not saying he was or wasn't. I don't know what the man was. I'm saying I'm not calling everybody a racist. I'm not calling everybody a racist because they have an opinion about black people or white people or whatever. We all have our opinions based on our experiences. He never admitted to being a racist. In fact, he defended the fact that he felt like he wasn't a racist. He had his own opinions based on his experiences with people of other races or sexes or sexual preferences, whatever, the same way we do. So it could be good or bad. If you've had good experiences with people of opposite races, you feel like, hey, we're all people, we're all human beings. Or if you grew up in a home that treated the world like that, like we're all one. We're one race. We're the human race. Then you have a different opinion. And what you got to realize is not everyone grew up like that. So you may be out here thinking the world is all la, 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 la. Oh, yeah, you skipping and doing whatever you want to do. But the world is real. So there are people who are going to hate you because of the color of your skin, or they're going to hate you because you're a man that want to wear a dress. They're going to hate you because you're a female that want to use the male urinal. They're going to hate you because you are a woman that dresses like a man and you want to, date women, whatever. That's okay. You have to have thick skin. And whoever you first dealt with in the beginning of you wanted to transition or you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do, they should have had that conversation with you and told you, you're going to face some backlash. Develop tough skin. Black people, we have been through so much. Why are y'all still letting these people enrage y'all and anger y'all because they don't like you? So what? So what? I'm not saying we should be used to it or we should lay down. What I'm saying is we should have some understanding that this type of thing may happen for a very long time. It's been happening. I'm not going to say the situation is better or worse. I'm going to say the situation is different. It's just different. Everything has gotten soft. I can't even watch a comedy special like Raw. We'll never have comedians like our biggest comedians. They will never be as big as Richard Pryor was or Red Fox or any of these people because you can't even say what you want to say anymore. Comedy is not even as funny as it used to be because you cannot have an opinion anymore. They have all of these contractual agreements. They have all of these sponsors. People can't even get on stage and say what they want to say anymore because somebody is going to be offended. That young lady weighed 500 pounds and told them people at the Breakfast Club, you can't say the F word. What? You're fat. You're fat. It's okay. You're fat. F-A-T. Capital F, capital A, capital T. You're fat. You don't like being fat. Lose some weight. It just is what it is. I'm not calling a pedophile minor attracted. You're a pedophile. You're a pedophile. You're a rapist. It just is what it is. I'm not going to act like it's okay for you to be a pedophile. You need help. Go get some help. If you look at the history books, that is something that has been way more accepted by people of other race. They feel like some of this stuff is okay. No, they will tell you that. They will tell you that robbery is worse than being a pedophile. Says who? The people who have been known to be pedophiles, right? I'm not saying it's not black people. If you look it up, I'm telling you, it's a lot more of them doing it than us. Just like it's a lot more of them doing mass shootings than us. Yes, we have some gang violence that need to be dealt with. Shout out to all my CVI brothers all across the country. If you are not familiar with CVI, that's Community Violence Intervention. I am one of the community violence intervention activists, and I fully believe that we need to do something about gang violence, street violence, and people having some type of emotional intelligence and being able to deal with the stresses in the inner city. So I do understand that. But if you look at the numbers, and this was one of the last things that Mr. Kirk was actually discussing, was the fact that gun violence, listen, y'all, look at the numbers. We are not walking in malls and shooting up malls. We are not going to schools and shooting up schools. I'm not saying it's 0% chance, but look at the numbers, y'all. We are not doing that. It is certain things that is not us. So while they can say what is us, we can always say what is not us. That is not us. We are not walking in schools and malls and different things like that and just killing people. We're not. So then you start to look at those type of differences and how they talk about it. This is my problem with politics. The way that they talk about it is the same thing if you want to deal with statistics. You can skew statistics to say whatever you want them to say. That doesn't mean that you're lying, but you can skew statistics any way you want to skew them to make your point. You can skew them. Trust me. If you've taken a statistic class, they teach you that in the class. You can skew a statistic to fit whatever narrative you want it to fit. And that's what people like Charlie Kirk did. They can say, oh, 50, some of this stuff was just flat out lying. When 55% of this, they lying. They're lying. When they start talking about us being a majority of the people in prison, they're lying. They're lying. White people are still the majority of people in prison. They're lying. But even if something was the truth, you can skew the statistics to fit whatever narrative you want it to fit. So don't believe the hype, y'all. Do your own research. Learn yourself something, right? Learn yourself something. Let me check my comments. Right? I just want to check the comments right quick to make sure I ain't, ignoring anybody. Me make sure y'all got some whatever knowledge or whatever. I don't want to make, Okay, so shout out to Rich Hustle, the genius, my guy. Okay, so we got a bunch of comments, y'all. It's weird because on the live, I can't see the Facebook comments. Jazz Core, shout out to my guy J1. J1, you saying that you can't change the facts. I'm not changing the facts. He said what he said. You know what I mean? I'm just saying I don't know if he always defended the fact that he wasn't racist, and I'm not gonna put that on him. He has his opinion about black people like we have our opinion about white people, and some of our opinions about white people are true, just like some of his opinions about black people may be true, right? So as I stated, I had an ex-girlfriend that was white, and this is a real story, y'all. The first time her mom cooked for me, she brung me the whole spice rack. She brung me the whole spice rack, and a lot of us grew up hearing that. A lot of us grew up hearing that white people didn't cook with seasoning, but I didn't think that was the truth. I'm like, how do you cook without seasoning? I grew up in Benton Harbor, and I wasn't around white people like that. Benton Harbor, like 90-some% black, so I didn't have a lot of experiences with white people. It may have been like a family or two that I knew of, but I don't remember like eating at their house or anything. So listen, y'all, I'm telling y'all the God honest truth. She brung me the whole spice rack. She made me like rice and steak or something and brought me the whole spice rack and told me, there's no seasoning in there. I'm just saying that there are some stereotypes that are true. So having an opinion about somebody of the opposite sex of the opposite race, my apologies, or the opposite sex, whatever, having these opinions, some of the stuff is true. If they said, oh, women are too emotional, some of it is true. Like, it could be true. Your experiences with women may have led you to believe that women are too emotional. I'm saying, who are you to belittle someone's life experiences and tell them that they're wrong from something that they experienced or their lack of experiences? That's my point. It's not to take up for him, right? So, Western European society is weird. That's what's up. A lot of black people adapted this lifestyle, whatever. This is what you got to realize, right? We don't know what our indigenous background really is. We don't know. We only know what people tell us. Our culture was stripped. It was like stripped from us, and we all did not come from the same tribes on purpose because they didn't want us communicating with each other. So we really don't know, Matt, my guy, M. Dot, right? You talk about ain't no freedom of speech. Um, Shout out to Peaches, y'all. I'm calling y'all nicknames, some of y'all. Shout out to Peaches. Peaches talking about the man made it very clear he didn't like niggas. Yeah, he made it clear that he didn't like black people. I won't say he made it clear that he didn't like black people. He did make it clear that he had an opinion about black people, right? Whether he liked them or not, that's kind of up for debate, right? That's my point. He can have an opinion about them, but he didn't say, I hate black people, right? He said, this is black people don't deserve this, or black people this, whatever. He can say whatever he feel like based on his experiences. That's the only point that I'm making, is that based on someone's experiences, they have an opinion, and it's kind of natural. It's natural for you to have an opinion based on your experiences, because that's all you have to draw an opinion from. That's all you have to draw an opinion from is your experiences. His experiences led him to believe that black people were lazy. But my experiences have led me to believe that most black people are lazy. I'm just telling you. So it doesn't mean that I don't like black people. I feel like black people make way too many excuses. That don't mean I don't like black people. I've been in positions to offer people certain things and they sat on their ass and did not take it. There are multiple opportunities out here to do things, and I've watched people give horses in the mouth. I've watched people throw opportunities away. I've watched people squander chances at bettering themselves. I've watched it. So does that mean I don't like black people because I have an opinion? Right? I don't have much an opinion about certain things because I haven't had a lot of experiences with that. Right? So what y'all got to realize is that it's all opinionated, right? And my main thing is that we all have a right to our opinion. That's my main point in this video. We all have our right to an opinion. We can do whatever we want to do about this man being taken off of this earth in the way that he was taken off of this earth. We can say whatever we want to say. The same way he had a freedom to say whatever he wanted to say about us or about whoever else. Everyone has the same rights. The problem with politics and religion and all that, people want to do what they did to him for you disagreeing with them. That is a major problem. Just because he disagrees with you doesn't mean that he's racist. He may only have certain experiences with black women or black men or black whatever. That's okay. That's okay. I've only had certain experiences with certain people. We do it all day to each other. I'm not dating a woman with kids. I'm not dating this. I'm not doing this. We do it all day. The internet is full of it. We are bashing each other way more than any of them are bashing us. And we are making this look like that's what we do all day. For somebody on the outside looking in, they gonna think that we don't get along. Black men and women look like we are at war. If you're just looking at the internet and catching all of these reels and clips of all of these different shows or whatever, podcasts or whatever, all black men this, men that, men this. What's happening is the whole world is moving a certain way, right? The whole world is it's like elevating a certain way. And black people are caught up in a bunch of bull. Like, black people we are distracted. Black people are distracted. There are far more important things than whether this man was racist or not. There are far more important things than men this, women that, all of that. Like, it's a whole life that we should be living out here, right? There are far more important things that we should be paying attention to. I had a thing today where my kids did turn in their homework. That's more important than to me. I said, I gotta tighten up, right? Because my kids are straight A and B students. Like, my kids do great in school. The fact that they didn't turn in their homework, that's something that I have to deal with. I don't have to deal with Charlie Kirk being a racist or not. He was not in position to open a door for me or close a door on me. We have far more important things that need to be addressed. We have a whole world that we have to take some accountability for, right? We have lives that we are responsible for. We have bills that need to be paid. We have credit that need to be repaired. We have businesses that we are trying to build. No one can deny that that man said what he said. You can't take that away. All this stuff is all over the internet. But what you can't do is make the man a racist, a bigot, or such and such. You can't do that. It just is what it is. The man had an opinion the same way you have an opinion. And nobody can take away your opinion because it's your opinion. It's your opinion. If you look on these blue apps or the Instagram, whatever else, you're going to see comments going either way. People are going to comment on these clips as I start posting these. Oh, you this, you that, you stupid, you should have. You look like you a house nigga, or you did, like, literally. If you have any type of opinion outside of what they think to be the truth, they have some type of negative connotation to put on you. You're a house nigga. You this, that man racist or something. No, the man could have been racist. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. What I'm saying is, you have no proof of it. It's nothing that he admitted to being. You didn't call him a racist. He said, I sure am. Right? He had his opinion the same way you have your opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. That's how I feel about politics. That's how I feel about religion. That's how I feel about Charlie Kirk, his death, or anybody responding to it. Anybody can say whatever they want to say. If they want to make memes and dials about whatever, it is their right, because we live in a free country and you can do whatever the hell you want to do with your platform, with your phone, with your computer, or whatever else you use to post, your tablet, whatever. You can do whatever you want to do with your platform because that's what it's made for. That's what it's made for. I'm not putting anything on anybody. I'm not calling anybody any type of names because they have a point of view that they feel like good riddance that the man is dead. Oh, they shouldn't have did that in front of his kids. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It happened. People respond to fight videos every day. People respond to other shooting videos or other whatever every single day. It's all over the internet. Things happen, bro. It's times where people end up getting harmed and people record it instead of calling the ambulance or the police, and it's all over the internet. I seen a lady crying about her sister laying in the middle of the parking lot at the school, and she was saying, y'all, please stop sharing this video. I do not want that to be the last picture that I see of my sister. And people were still sharing that video, and Charlie Kirk did not say stop sharing that video. So it is what it is, y'all. The internet is going to do the interneting. It's going to be the internet. So people are going to have an opinion one way or another one, and it's okay. You can be a tranny and think that you the cutest thing in the world or the prettiest thing in the world, and you can post pics and people can dog you all through the comments. You can go viral. They can say you look like this or that and that, and you got to deal with it. The same way you would deal with somebody calling you the most beautiful thing in the world. It is what it is. You post anything on the internet or you end up on the internet, you're liable to end up under the internet, because the internet is interneting at a high rate at this point. He had a right to say what he wanted to say, and he said it. So what? So what? He could say whatever he want to say. What's it to you? It did not take away or pay. It did not take away or pay any of your bills. It did not pay your college bill. It didn't do anything or take anything from you, him having an opinion. You don't like it, swipe up. It just is what it is. Yeah, it's just like many say, right? Man, he said, I didn't have a clue who this man was until he passed, right? This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. It is up to you. It is completely up to you what you see, what you don't see, how you respond. Stop letting the internet rub you the wrong way. Stop letting people rub you the wrong way. You feel me? So at what point do you think you're supposed to be you're supposed to have some type of like overstated opinion? Your opinion weighs more than everybody else's, right? At what point? Everyone has their following. The same way I'm making a video, D.L. Hughley can get on there and say, the man was a flame racist, we hate him, black people shouldn't do that. It's okay. You can like that video and like my video. You can swipe past my video and like D.L. Hughley video. You can swipe past my clips and like whoever video. You can swipe past my clips and like Charlie Kirk videos. Who cares, bro? You have a right to whatever you want to do on your phone, on your internet, whatever you want to do. The same way he had a right to say whatever he wanted to say. I don't care one way or another one. Who cares? I'm just being honest, y'all. Who cares? The man can say what he want to say. Do you know how many people feel even more strongly than he does, but don't have the platform? They're somewhere telling the people who have a ear to listen to them, man, F black people, I hate those N-word. They going crazy. The world crazy, bro. They're telling their kids, don't you ever talk to an N-word, whatever. They still doing that, bro. We've been free, whatever, years, and they still doing that, bro. They're still doing that. Who are you to say that they can't tell their kids whatever they want to tell them? That's my point. You may tell your kids, hey, you know, if you want, you could tell your sons, if you want to be a little girl, I'm all for it. That's your business. I don't care what you tell your kids. I'm not telling my kids no shit like that. I'm not telling my kids nothing like that. My son is 7 and we have very good discussions about what boys do and what girls do. He has a clear understanding of what is okay for a boy to do and what's not okay. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about my son playing with a doll or acting crazy. But man, listen, we have embedded in our kids what gender roles are. They know the difference. Now, if they turn 18, 19, 20, 25 or whatever, and they say they want to blur the line a little bit, who am I? I don't know, but I'm going to do my job. I'm not going to let school or the internet or anybody else tell my kids what a boy should do or a girl should do. That's what parenting is for. Stop blaming everybody else for what you should have a hold on. Stop it. If that man want to go on his platform and say, bash women or bash gays or bash trans or bash blacks or bash Mexican, that is his business and it's his. He can do whatever he wants to on his platform. It's his platform. It's his platform. He can do whatever he want to do. I don't care one way or another one. I don't care if he liked blacks, hated blacks, was racist. I don't give a flying. I don't care, bro. It did nothing to me. It didn't take $1 away from me. It didn't give me an extra $1. It didn't put my kids through college. It didn't do anything like that. People need to focus up and get to the money. Right? It's been almost an hour. I'm going to get off of here. I got some business to take care of. And I just want to thank y'all for tapping in with me. I love when y'all tap in with me. We had some good discussion today. I tried to respond back to all of the questions or comments that I seen. I'm sorry if I missed anything, y'all. I'm only human. Y'all. I try to respond back to what I could. I really appreciate y'all for tapping in. I will clip this up maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, and we're going to start putting out these clips. But thank y'all for tapping in. Y'all follow me on all social media at Chosen One Jackpot if you're not.